Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk about the tracking part. So first of all, before I introduce the tracking progress, I just want to make some notes to everyone to understand. So whenever you want to track a footage, so things to avoid is, for example, you can't track on the motion blur footage, and because this everything is blurred out, you can't have a clear point to track. And then same to goes to out of focus. So when your lens is too out of focus, everything is blurred, you can't track on that footage as well. And then the third one is the film grain. So normally the final output movie or any footage, they'll apply some film grain especially to have that view. But for tracking, this is a bad footage. So I think whenever you can just use back the original footage without apply any filter or noise grain, just use the original one, it will be good. And then the fourth one is the footage is the plain color or gradient without any details and any tracking point to track on. So this is a few things that you should avoid whenever there's a shooting on set. You have to check, is it this few thing is uh, able to avoid. So for the and on cut when you're shooting on the production, normally if green screen, make sure you have the tracking point on set. Like for example, this screen. So the reason why there's contrast, the cross is black color in the green screen. So all the tracking point you have to make sure it has the sharp and contrast line and angle. For example, triangle or a square, this corner. So the tracking program will need this kind of detail to track more accurately. So for example, for the green screen like this, the other tricks is to make sure that the lighting that casts and on the green screen, the whole green screen have to be as flat as possible. So in this scene, I think they have a very big area light and a soft light to cast on the green screen, the panel, because you cannot use the very sharp shadow spotlight kind of light to uh, cast on the green screen, because the green screen has to be in a very gradient way for easier to key out, and then the tracking point is also easier to have a flat and gradient lighting. So when you go to the key green screen and the tracking, is crucial and essential for us to make sure as flat as possible and the lighting is bright enough to see the details. So for example, if this is the distance from the camera, you have to make sure that the tracking point is big enough, because you can see from here we are looking at the screen, the tracking point is big enough. But if I am moving this tracking point to this position, you will see you're only very small until there's only appear as a dot here. So you should check every scene camera and the distance. In this situation, you have to be a much bigger 2 to 3 times, maybe have to see to check, so that when you roughly look at it, at least you still can see the cross. Else it's too small, it's very hard for us to track. So this is the few things that tips and you should take care of. So now I'm going to show you the tracking software. I'm going to demo the pftrack. So this is not the latest pftrack, but I think it's good enough to use. So the interface, once you open, you'll see that it's blank. You can create and this is maybe the project, the title of the project. So I'll give you a name, and then this is the location. So the problem here is that you can't copy paste the path for this, so I have to go and click and browse. I have a folder here called just monkey, so I choose this. Then I'm confirmed that this is shoot in a 25 per second. So camera, whenever if you have a camera data, you can just put the data, the detail here. If you don't know, you just leave it to our or and then confirm. Once confirmed, you'll come to this interface. So you can, first of all, you can go to our training program here, tracking. I already have a footage here. So this is the JPEG sequence from one of our jobs. So you just click and drag one of them here, and then you already have a library, one of the footage here. You just click on here, so you can see on the spot you already have this footage. So this is the working space, and this is the node panel. For the node, this is the node-based tracking software. So which means that if you right click, and then you can add all the node here. So first of all, I won't go through all the node here. There's only a few few nodes that I think I will use quite often. So for example, you go to the utility image manipulation. So this node is for you to adjust the color, the contrast of the footage, and in case that sometimes the lighting on the footage is you lose a bit of the contrast and the brightness, but just don't overdo it. This is just to assist you whenever that the footage is have some minor if the footage is too dark, you can't do much also, because once you do the contrast and brightness, all the grain will come out on the spot. So if you middle click left and right or up and down, you scale up and scale down. So right click is to pan your footage. So this one is just to fit your image. So once that, I will have the auto track. So auto track is like you ask the machine to help you to track based on the detail here. Okay, but before that, if you look at the footage, there's people walk past here and there, and the lady is doing her acting here. So whenever we are coming to the tracking, you have to mask out those elements that is moving, so that to tell the tracking software that don't calculate and track those moving subject like the human or anything that's moved. You should only track on those things that is static. So for here, I will create a mask. You come here, you click this mask, and then you click the Bezier roto. So you just click on it. So I'm going to mask out this lady. So she's walking past, which means that I have a keyframe here. So I have to animate the mask. So in this frame, I will just control and left drag to move my mask all in the group. Then I can individually and tweak the position. Then when go here, I will just move again. So I will have the keyframe again. So until the lady move out. So this pink area means that I move out the mask of the lady that is moving. So and the same this lady and this guy. So I will do another Bezier. Okay, just do a rough one, and no need to be very tidy. I just like this. Maybe I just control middle click, or you can scale it. You just drag on the edge, and then maybe tweak a bit the point, and do it again. And then here. Okay. Okay. So lastly is the mother here. I'll click here and Bezier, create another Bezier mask for the lady here. Because you can't track on anything that is moving, that's wrong. You need to track based on static object. So like this. Alright, so after this, I think I'll first start the tracking and check how is it. So you just click this mark again, come to the parameter of the auto track. So the most important thing is you need to change it to be a better accuracy. Deformation, just take 3 of these. And then if the footage have the lighting changes like the sunlight or any light that pass by that make the footage could have any lighting changes, it's better you click this. But from mine, I didn't think I have that, so I just no need to tick. So everything there, so I just click on auto track. So whenever I click, you can see here the software auto detect any contrast point and try to track forward, and then after finish, it will try track backward one more time to confirm the point. See all those pink area, they will ignore to detect the point. Okay, so now this is all the point that we have. So for auto track, you can also have another kind of track. It's called user track. So user track is more like a manual thing. You create your own tracking point. So for in case sometimes auto track can't give you the best result, and you have to come and create your own point. For example, I'll track on this letter. So I just click on this arrow to track forward. Okay. Okay. So just now I start from here, and then you should go and check from 0. If anytime if I make a mistake here, then you can just start from here, track backward again. So the blue color means that everything is tracked. You can add more user track at here. Try to look for anything that is contrast. Maybe I'll try to track this image. And then let's say I want to track from this image. Let's say for this dot. You can see that I'm starting from here. I will track backward. The tracking stop because after this frame, you see the lady is cover up the whole thing. So you can't detect any point anymore. So for this situation, you can just click the negative, means remove the keyframe before that, and then click the negative edge, means that they are asking the software don't calculate anything before that. So if you track until here, something blocked, you want to ignore the frame onward, you can click on this R plus and H plus. So for now, I think I will start the next step and check how is it. I can go to the solving and click on camera solver. So camera solver is that after you have the tracking point, you add this camera solver node to solve the camera, see how is the position, everything. So for now, I will do nothing. I just click the solve. So at the spot, you can see that I already have a guide here. So you can see they have some sliding. Sometimes you have to check what is causing the problem. So here I think it might be the cause of the user track. So I will just I don't want to use a user track for here. I just can unplug and plug directly here. And then I'll solve again. Yeah, I think the user track in this duration is causing the problem. So the auto track is good enough. And then one thing is you come to this area. If you click on the trim, you try to trim down any mistake frame or any tracking point that is causing the problem. So after you trim it, you can click refine camera. So I already have a basic tracking look on it. So you can go here, you see this window, you click on this, you can see that there's actually, here is the footage itself. This panel is showing the perspective of how your camera and everything move from the perspective space. This is the footage. So after this, I will go to add another node. It's called Orion. Orient scene. So orient scene is for me to like try to orient the plane on the proper position and scaling. So here I will select this point, and then I will say set origin. Means that I want the origin is on top of the table. So and then you can go edit here. You can scale it. So make the world scale bigger. And then I want to maybe rotate a bit. Try to match back the perspective. You can see we already get the grid on top of the table. So after this, we can add one more thing to check. This is the geometry test object. So this is a few dummy object that you can place on the footage to check how is it look to make more clear. Is it the tracking is on the accurate point? So for example, this one I double click mushroom, and then the interact mode I will say place as selected point. So for example, here, and then I will double click, and then maybe I'll place another, maybe here. So you can check and zoom in to see is it the mushroom is really on the floor. Seems like okay. Maybe I'll add another one. And maybe here. Okay. So after this, if everything looks okay, I will go to the node and another node export. So this node you will have the export setting. So I export to this place called I'll export to the AE, and later on export another one to the Maya to show you. So this one is for AE. For AE, I just choose this one .ma. So after this, I set the location, everything. I just click export. Export successful. So I already have my After Effects open here. So make sure it's 25 frames per second. And then I will just import the node that we have been export just now. So in After Effects, I can see this is why I export from the pftrack, and you can just import this. You'll see I have a pre-comp here. So just to confirm 25 frames per second for the pre-comp, and then I will drag my footage in the After Effects. So you can see this is all the now from the tracking point. Okay. So this is how you import your tracking to the After Effects. This is all the tracking point. If you didn't use this much, or you maybe just want to keep a few of them, the rest of the point that is too much, you can just delete. Just remain whatever you think that is helpful for you, because all the data already baked in the camera here. Okay, so this is how you export to After Effects. And if you want to export to Maya, you need to tweak this one. You need to change to the Autodesk Maya, this one, and then we'll change the naming to Maya, and then export again. Okay, so I will show you how to import to Maya now. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to import to Maya. This is the file that I export from pftrack just now. So I just import it, and then you can see straight away I have this info. I show the camera. The sequence is already mapped for me. And then first of all, I think we need to check the scaling each time when we import to the Maya. First, scaling, and then second is the orientation. If you remember just now, the grid from the pftrack we have been placing at the table. So which means that if I put a plan at the grid here, this should be the pivot of the table. So but the scaling wise, we need to tweak a bit, because if let's say I want to put the monkey, the boy here, when he is roughly 120 cm, maybe like this. This is just a guide, the box. I then just do a quick one. So which means our world is way too small if this is the table at the area. So what I can do, I can go to select this group. The group is including the camera, the tracking point, and everything. Let's say I put 10. X-ray. I think I can scale furthermore. So for example, this is the scale and height of the monkey. And then for the table, I think I have to scale it up. Let's say the table, the length is like this. So after this, you can hide the pivot, the guide. So you can see I already have the tracking scene ready in my Maya scene. And for the props, let's say when I have the character or anything, I want the 3D character or things I want to sit on here maybe, I need to build the guide. I mean, it's easier for animator and lighter to as a reference or cast shadow. Let's say for example here, I just do a box as a proxy, so that when the character standing here, you can cast a shadow and render out the path to do compositing later. Because if the character is sitting here, you should cast a shadow in some way here. Or this is a reflective metal box, maybe you have to do the proxy mesh to get the reflection path from the 3D subject or character. For example, this one. For this demo, I just do a quick one just for you to have understanding. In the real production, we might need to build more detailed shape, not into the texture and bevel, those kind of detail, but at least you have a fit to the overall shape of the subject. Let's say this box. Maybe I'll have a character standing here. So it's roughly this height and this area. For example, this. If I play back. So this is, for example, if this is the character, you can check, or maybe he should stand further back a bit because this is the table. Maybe he'll just standing here on the chair next to his mother, or maybe he's higher, maybe 140. So this is roughly where the monkey is standing. So I think this is somehow near to finish the tracking. Of course, I need to spend time build the props and everything here if in the real production. So I just show you the final footage of this. This is how we do the tracking. See? Okay. So for this one, there's a few more tips and tricks. You go to YouTube and search for pftrack tutorial. There's a couple of good one on there. So I won't talk too much and too long here, just for you to have a rough idea about tracking and how you bring it to After Effects and Maya. So that's it. Okay, thank you.